Hello everyone. I would like to welcome Dr. Smita Kasar, who is the head of Computer Science and Engineering Department. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being on our platform and taking out your time to be a part of an initiative Thoughts on Education. This initiative will help to bridge the long gap between the vision of the top management and the student. So, first of all, I would like to have your introduction and please brief us about your profile, ma'am.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Dr. Smita Lalit Kasar. Basically, I am from Mumbai. I've graduated BE Computer Science from Mumbai University. Later, I have shifted to Aurangabad. After that, I pursued my PG. And in 2016, I have completed my PhD under the guidance of Dr. Madhuri Joshi. I have total around 19 years of experience as an academician. Basically, I feel that I am a good listener with logical reasoning and better and effective communication skills. I also possess high level of analyzing enthusiasm, and I am always motivated towards work, and I always like to be part of research that really benefits the society. Presently, I am working here in Maharashtra Institute of Technology from past 4 years as the head of the department and associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Yeah, over to you, Neha.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, should we start with the interview?
Yeah, please.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, my first question to you is that what is the latest program that you are offering in your department which will help students outperform and stand apart from the crowd?
Yeah. Neha, ours being a computer science and engineering department, all the fundamental courses what we have here in the undergraduate program, we offered them, and I'm really happy to share that from the present academic year, that is upcoming academic year 2021 and 22, we are beginning with another undergraduate program that will be BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So this is like we are catering the needs of the society, the corporates, the research. Like as you have seen that much of the corporate market is moving towards the products based on artificial intelligence, and data analysis is playing major role in almost every industry, may it be finance, may it be healthcare, may it be automotive as well. So AI is used almost in every industry. So looking into this, we have recently decided, and we are beginning with AI and DS as our new program.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, please tell us that what are the factors that make this program the best for the students to opt?
See, as far as computer science and engineering is concerned, we all are now very much aware that in this globalization and in this world where we see that we all are connected to each other. So we need not have to specially mention what is the career which is very important, that is computer engineering. So that is the best aspect of, you can say that always young aspirants have opted and would like to opt with computer science and engineering. With lot of benefits being everywhere. I would say rather everywhere, wherever you are, may it be in marketing. Now it has turned on to the digital marketing. With the pandemic situation, computer science engineers are required everywhere. All my students, even though in pandemic, have virtual onboarding on many of the companies. So job opportunities are too many, and there are also opportunities in research, in higher studies everywhere. Few of my students are doing projects with international universities, which is based on blockchain technology, which is based on healthcare. So everywhere computer science is a must and it is required. So that is one of the best factors that we are here providing. And one more, the UG program, what we have just started from the upcoming academic year. So students who are very much focused to go into specialized area, that is artificial intelligence as well as data science, can definitely think of opting for this program. As you might be looking into say news every day along, that AI is everywhere. So right from when you put on your say Alexa, or when you get your automatic email messages, email replies, those are automatic. So everywhere you have AI. So if you are focused, so the future has more focus on automation and machine learning, and rightfully the students who really want to go into this area, and so we can get them already prepared for this area. So yes, I would say that these are all the factors that makes our two programs. That is, one is fundamental computer science and engineering, and the other one is AI and data science, the best suitable options for the students, for the young aspirants.
Yes, ma'am, sure. So, ma'am, my next question to you is that what will you say the best practices in the course you are offering?
Well, I would like to share the very first thing that we have highly competent faculty, and in our department we have student-centric learning. That is a major thing here. Students enjoy learning. We have activity-based learning. We focus more on project-based learning as well. One more important thing, best practice, is that whenever we have projects which are done by the students, so along with an academician being a guide to those students, as an helping hand, we do have company guide. That is, we do have mentors from the corporate also. So there were around 8 to 10 projects this time which were mentored by the corporate people. Willingly they did it for our students. We have reached out to our alumni as well. So those alumni who are already working spared their time on weekends and guided the students for the projects. So this best practice, it has led to a very good quality projects in our department this year. One of the project which was Twigo trending, and it was basically towards the data science and analysis. So they have received the best paper award in one of the conferences that was held in international conferences held in an engineering college. So this is one of the best practice what we have here. One more best practice what we have here is we promote open source technology. So that doesn't make students to deal with some licensed software. So the students explore their skills, and I'm happy to say that we have almost more than 50% of our labs work with open source. Within our syllabus also, I must say that we have a blend of mathematics, then softwares, then we have a blend of machine learning, that is artificial neural network we have in our subjects. So that is also one of the things, like the students gain a lot of knowledge. Plus we also impart soft skills through seminars, workshops, and a lot of activities are organized by the students. Also, I'm happy to share that our coding club was converted and backed up by CodeChef. So now from a couple of years onwards, we have MIT A CodeChef chapter. So this is eventually a practice that our coding club, the students, it is run by the students with just one faculty coordinator. These are many practices we do have, but this is, I think, amongst the best I could quote it here.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question to you is that what are some valuable insights of the program that you are offering at your department?
Yeah, as I basically always say that we have student-centered learning approach, and all our teaching learning processes are student-centered. We have good infrastructures. We have ample number of laboratories to cater the needs of the students. We have excellent faculty to student ratio. It is around less than 15, like 1:15, you would say. Less than that we have student faculty ratio. We also had now, not only because of pandemic, but before that also, our institute has the NPTEL chapter. So with the help of that, we have way back we have introduced MOOC courses through NPTEL. That is, our students were already into online learning, as well as our faculty as well. And during the pandemic, we had introduced lot of courses from Coursera as well as from NPTEL. We also focus more on experiential learning, and fundings we do have. And I must also quote here that we have student projects, went and published as patents. One of our project, like robotic fish for underwater surveillance, we have published a patent, and soon we are going to appear for the exam as well. So this was a project which was undertaken by my undergraduate students, Pallavi and Sankalp. So this is also some like, it's not because only it is an undergraduate project, but it is of that level that we could publish a patent for that. We do have strong industry interfaces, like we are connected with Infosys, Red Hat, Cloudera, Oracle, and we do have a center of excellence in cybersecurity as well as cyber forensics. We also focus more on extracurricular activities. We have NSS, NCC. Our institute is with Unnat Bharat and Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan as well. So this also gives a social impact and a social awareness to our students to work for the society. So yes, like, these are what I could say, the insights what we give it here.
Yes, ma'am, sure. So, ma'am, please tell us that how does the program ensure that students are being prepared for the future?
Yeah. With the very first thing, if you are talking about the curriculum, yes, we do see that we find out the gaps within the curriculum, and whatever is required to bridge the gap between the industry and the academia. We conduct a lot of courses here. We conduct a lot of development programs for the same. So that is how one way we are trying to prepare our students with the latest technology. The second thing I would like to say that we have a lot of academies here in-house in the campus provided to the students. Like we do have Red Hat Academy. We are associated with Red Hat since 2006. So since then we run international certifications here. We do have a Prometric Center for examination as well here. So that is one way. So if they want to go with open source, we do provide them. The second is we do have Cloudera, MOU with Cloudera, and we run a Big Data Academy here. So the course here is related to Big Data, Hadoop, and allied softwares for that. Plus, we have started with an MOU with Oracle, and we have started with Oracle Academy. So this academy helps us to gain more insight for our students in Java as well as database management systems. So along with the students, they are doing their undergraduation. So these all help them around to gain more skills and upgrade themselves when they are studying their normal curriculum. Now we have also come up with a Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity and Cyber Forensics, which is again a very good area to start up with their career. So the students will get benefit with this also. In fact, we are also connected with Infosys Campus Connect program. So this Infosys Campus Connect program, this gives training to the faculty as well. Recently, 3 of my faculty got trained from Infosys for Java programming. So that really helps. So these 3 faculties can then now are delivering the lectures to the students. So this makes the students ready for the future for what actually is required in the corporate. Along with this, because we run PG programs, we have PG students, we have many faculties who are pursuing PhDs, who are PhDs also. So they get an insight over research papers and research as well. We have MIT Incubation Center. So if the students are interested to go for entrepreneurship, they can have guidance through that incubation center as well. So these are a few of many things what we try and ensure that our students are ethically good enough and they are prepared for almost all the skills required for them to go for a job and being a good citizen here in the society. Our institute always encourages students. Now we also have in-plant trainings at the final semester. So that also helps the student before entering into the corporate industry. They work with the industry at actual for 6 months, and that's a compulsory in the curriculum. So they have to go for it. and they earn their internship. So properly the students have to appear for interview and get selected just as it is placement. So they get all that kind of experience of going for interviews during their implant training as well. And many of the students get the job converted, like their implant training converted into jobs. So that is also one of very good way that we are trying to inculcate these values into the students. So that's all, just few things.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you mentioned about the faculty training, then I would like to ask that how did you train the faculty to deliver this program to the students?
Yeah. See, when as a faculty, what we are doing is, if you talk about me, like if now with the 19 years of experience, so way back when I had learned something during my engineering and during my higher education, does not cater to the industry needs of what is going around here now in computer industry and IT industry. Because every minute there is a new technology, every minute there is a change in the market. So yes, definitely the faculty here, basically in computer science and engineering, along with their fundamentals, they need to be on toes and be a lifelong learner to adapt very quickly whatever comes up in the market. So for that, we usually arrange faculty development programs in short durations. We are also connected with, some industries, just like now I have mentioned that because we are connected with Infosys. So every semester Infosys comes up with a faculty development program. So last time we got 6 to 7 of our faculties, we got trained with Python programming. Now this year there was a Java programming. All the academies also what we run, we also run this for faculty as well. So they are also trained on these new technologies. Plus, we also have government sponsored faculty development program. So very recently in July, government sponsored, that is AICT sponsored teaching and development program, ATAL. You might have heard about it. So AICT gave a sponsorship for running a faculty development program, where my faculties were also involved and around 100 faculties nationally were involved. And we conducted a program on cyber security and cyber forensics. So yes, gradually these faculty development programs are going on. And as I have mentioned, many of my faculties are pursuing PhD. So that also helps them to be at par with what is going on in the research and what is going on in the market. So that also keeps them on toes. So they all are lifelong learners. And regularly we keep up seminars and webinars for the faculty as well. They are also supported to go for paper presentations. They are also supported with their own copyrights. All of my faculty own copyrights for charts as well, for their notes, for their PPTs. Even I own a copyright for a software that is a mobile application, which we have developed for hospitals, so biomedical waste management systems. So few of our clients are KEM from Mumbai. From Pune, we have few clients like Ruby Hall. Then we have D.Y. Patil Hospital and many more. So the institute supports a lot when we are working with this. So this we work, faculty groups work together to go for this, and this definitely helps the students also.
Okay, ma'am. So ma'am, my last question to you is that what are the benefits and career options after pursuing this course?
Yeah, our course, as I mentioned, the computer science and engineering, and also now we are beginning with AI and DS. These courses have a lot of job opportunities because it is related to IT. So the basic career option what we have is into software development. So apart from this, now because the computer and IT market is growing gradually, so we have a lot of options, like the students can opt either for higher studies nationally, or they can go to international universities as well. They could be a data scientist, they could be a data analyst, then could be blockchain developer, engineer, they could have a very good career into software testing, which is also yet one more very important, I could say, an area to work upon and build on your career. Could be big data engineer, machine learning engineer. Then we could, our students can go into computer networks and could also become a computer network architect. And they could be a very good system analyst, could be a database administrator, could be into security, could be computer security analyst, and maybe computer information systems manager also they could be. Then they could be full stack developer, lot many things. If the students would like to go into marketing nowadays, so digital marketing is also one of the very good way where you really do not like to code, so you go into the marketing. So lot of opportunities are available there. And the major benefit of going to the course of computer science and engineering rather than going with short-term courses and learning programming languages outside, the difference I would tell you finally to quote with an engineer is with analytical ability. So definitely computer science engineer is with an analytical ability much more than the students who just opt to learn programming languages. So dual benefit of being an engineer, and also that too in computer science and engineer, we have lot of job opportunities and benefits to the students out there in the market, including training as well. Corporate training is also one of the very important, you could say, area where we could train the corporate people into the technologies which are really required for them. Yes, that's all from my side, Neha.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it was very good to hear you. Thank you so much for connecting and for your valuable time. And I'm sure when students will watch this interview, they will get a direction. And I thank you again for being a part of the initiative Thoughts on Education.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you for the opportunity that you gave me time to say a few words and interact with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.